It's Patrick, founder of Screenplay app, the app for student screenwriters. Every week, I recommend a new screenplay for you to read to get a better understanding about the art of screenwriting. This week's recommended read is The Hateful Eight, which is written by Quentin Tarantino. If you've seen the film, I'm not sure how you feel about the film because there's a lot of debate about some people feel it's not Tarantino's best work. Me personally, I really enjoyed it. Yes, it's not in my top 5 of Quentin Tarantino film, but it was still an enjoyable film, and the screenplay was very fun to read. So the screenplay, let's talk about the screenplay. It's very long. As a matter of fact, all Tarantino screenplays are pretty long. I'm not sure Tarantino has a screenplay that's under 100 pages. If he does, tell me about it, but I've read most of Tarantino's screenplays, and if I'm not mistaken, they're all at least 120 pages or so. But he's such a brilliant writer that it doesn't feel like it's 120 pages because the screenplays, they move so fast and the pacing is so great. Now, I'm not sure how you write your characters when you developing them. Some screenwriters, they write character biographies in a whole separate folder. They have the backstories of the characters. Me, that's how I write. So, but Tarantino, maybe he does have a separate folder with all the character backstories and, backgrounds and things like that. So the point I'm trying to make is in the screenplay, in the action lines, Tarantino uses the action line to actually give backstories about the characters, which is very, very cool and very unique. Because if you read a lot of screenplays, normally the action lines are designed to just stay in the present, right? They tell you what's happening in the screenplay and so on. John walks down the street, he sees this and that. So it's rarely where you see a screenwriter writes backstories within the action lines. Now, there may be flashbacks, that's a whole separate thing, but to actually write character backstories in the action line as you're reading it is very cool. So Tarantino uses a lot of opportunities to write character backstories in the action lines, and honestly, he does not take away from the screenplay. If anything, I feel that it enhances it because as you're reading, some of these characters come in and they stay with you for a while. So the fact that Tarantino tells you a little bit more about these characters, as you know, Tarantino writes very great dialogue. So by putting the character backstories in action line, that leaves great opportunities for Tarantino to have fun with the dialogue and focus on the plot rather than try to have characters explain backstories. As you know, Tarantino, that's not what he does. He doesn't do a lot of expositional dialogue. So how about yourself? When you're creating character backstories, where do you put them? Do you have a separate folder that you go to later on? Or do you tend to give characters their backstory through dialogue or through actions? So as a new writer, maybe that's not something you want to do, but maybe if you want to experiment with that, I think you should read this screenplay to see how Tarantino does it. Now, as you know, Tarantino is Tarantino. No one writes like him. So obviously, anything he does, he does it brilliantly. So read The Hateful Eight. I will link the screenplay for The Hateful Eight in the description below. Remember, this is for educational purposes only. If you're thinking about writing your first screenplay, go to your favorite app store, download Screenplay app today. The link in the description below. And remember to always have fun writing. Fade out.